Welcome to another edition of the Postgame Wrap, brought to you by Red Raider Outfitter, the fans' favorite since 1975. 41-31, number 7 Oklahoma State beat Texas Tech in Stillwater on Saturday. And, the Red Raiders came out. They were aggressive. I love that Joey McGuire is not scared. They took the ball. They won the toss. They didn't defer. They took the ball. They went down and scored. And, of course, the big story is that Baron Morton, the redshirt freshman, former four-star, Elite 11 quarterback, highest-rated recruit to sign with Texas Tech in the modern era of recruiting and college football. And he had his first start, and he was tremendous. He went down and scored a touchdown on the first drive. And, he finished with over 350 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, which was costly. But, that was his one mistake, really, of the whole game. He also ran for over 40 yards and another touchdown. So, Baron Morton was terrific. Coach McGuire was aggressive. They got that onside kick, but, of course, the really heads-up play by the Oklahoma State frontline player there to wait for a fair catch. So there was interference on the catch, and Oklahoma State had a short field, and they were able to even the game up. But still, I know Coach McGuire said on Monday that he didn't really care about a fast start, but clearly they were going for a fast start in Stillwater, and they got it. And they even had a 24-21 halftime lead. They looked really good. I thought the defense was flying around, playing really good football. The secondary especially. They were very aggressive. They were in a lot of man coverage, a single high safety. So a lot was asked of these cornerbacks, and they answered the bell more times than not. Now, I know Oklahoma State scored 41 points, so you're saying, hey, how good could the defense have been? But still, if you watch the game, forget about the stats, forget about the final score, you'll see that Texas Tech's defense once again played good enough to win the game. In the offense, under Baron Morton, they racked up over 500 yards of offense. Like I said, Morton was great. So Roderick Thompson had a really good game as well, over 80 yards and a touchdown. Jaron Bradley, Trey Cleveland, who was kind of emerging as maybe your top receiver, your top outside receiver. Both those guys had a great game. Xavier White filling in for Miles Price, another very good game. So there's a lot of things cooking for the offense. I feel like, the offensive line, look, they gave up, I think, 3 or 4 sacks, so I'm not saying it was amazing. They also didn't run for over 4 yards a carry. So I'm not going to say, it was just a great performance by the offensive line, but it was an improvement from the performance against Kansas State. There is no doubt. I think Baron Morton helped some of that. A lot of people out there have been clamoring for Baron Morton, and I think he showed why. He had a very good pocket awareness. Before he got hurt, there was before and after. I know it was mentioned a lot on the broadcast, but perhaps rightfully so, because the way he was moving around the pocket and everything was really making this offense go. We've said time and time again he's the best quarterback of the 3 between him, Tyler Shuck, and Donovan Smith in terms of throwing on the run. He showed that. And then when he got hit low and hurt his leg, that really affected his game. He still gutted it out. I think he only missed 1 play. Donovan Smith came in for 1 play on the goal line, and he played the rest of the game, but he was clearly not as effective as he was before that injury. A missed field goal hurt. I think it was either a 42 or 44 yarder by Trey Wolf. That hurt. But ultimately, bottom line is Oklahoma State outplayed Texas Tech in the second half. For whatever reason you want to say, they did. And, as good as this defense has been playing, it's not creating turnovers. I think that's 6 turnovers they've created in 6 games. And their whole mantra, one of their basic principles or tenets to winning football games is take 3, which is why you've heard so much about that, or you heard so much about it going into the season. The take 3 shirts and all that was get 3 turnovers a game. And right now they're averaging 1 a game. So that's obviously not going to get it done. They didn't get 1 against Oklahoma State. Again, they lost a turnover battle, and that was a key. It was. But overall, I really, Coach Keeley did not go big. He spread it out, gunslinger, with Baron Morton throwing over 60 passes, but it worked. So I'm not going to be critical of that. I thought the game plan was sound. A lot of times the plays were there. Most of the time when the plays didn't work, it was because of execution. It wasn't because the play wasn't there. So very good game plan. I thought Tim DeRuyter's game plan on defense also was very good. It was aggressive. Like I said, this coaching staff does not coach scared. The players do not play scared. And they were competitive with the undefeated. You could argue either them or TCU right now are the best teams in the Big 12. So, they went toe to toe in Stillwater with Oklahoma State. Now they're left at 3-3 and 1-2 in the Big 12 going into the bye week, and they can kind of heal up. They played 5 consecutive ranked opponents, and they got that split that I said was so critical going into the season. They got it. With a big win over Texas, another in-state win over a then ranked opponent in Houston earlier in the season. So look, you're 3-3. Lick your wounds a little bit. You got West Virginia coming into town on the 22nd. So, get healthy, get right. I think a lot of questions are going to be like, who's going to be the starting quarterback? Is it going to be Shuck? Is he going to be ready? Is it going to be Smith? Is it going to be Baron Morton? I think Baron Morton showed when healthy, he can be a very effective quarterback, and I think he can win you some football games. So a lot of the people who have been clamoring for Baron Morton, you got to see him. I think we all will agree you got to like what you saw from him in a hostile environment against a very good defense, a very good team. So now it will become harder as there's a book on him, and people are able to watch film on him and all that. But still, you see the arm talent, you see the quick release, you see how his mobility, both as a runner, but also just creating more time when things break down in the pocket helps. So, I think Baron Morton has deserved the opportunity to start that game against West Virginia, but we'll just have to see. They're not asking me. The coaching staff isn't asking me. We'll have to see what Coach Kelly decides, what Coach McGuire decides, and ultimately whoever gives Texas Tech the best chance to win. So I still, even though it's back-to-back losses, I still have a lot of optimism about this team. I think it can go to a bowl game. Now, some of these teams like Kansas and TCU look tougher that Tech's going to play on the back half of their schedule. But then again, Oklahoma looks very beatable after getting trounced 49-0 against Texas and 3 straight losses, and their defense being, both the offense and their defense being in disarray. So it's going to be interesting to see how the second half of the season plays out. But ultimately, I like what I see from the coaching staff. I like what I see from the defense, and I like that they got that split. So we'll have to see how it plays out. But for now, I want to thank you for watching, and until next time.